Today, we are breaking down an absolute titan of cinema, Francis Ford Coppola's The Godfather. This is one of those films that didn't just tell a story, it literally changed the way movies were made.
So, how in the world did one gangster film become this timeless masterpiece? I mean, it didn't just change Hollywood, it actually changed the real-life mafia. We're gonna dig into its incredible story, its groundbreaking filmmaking, and its absolutely staggering cultural impact. All right, first things first. To really get the genius of this film, you have to understand the insane level of anticipation surrounding its release back in 1972. This was not just another movie.
And from the moment it hit theaters, the critics knew they were watching something historic. This quote from Vincent Canby at the New York Times just nails it. He called it one of the most brutal and moving chronicles of American life. Think about that. This wasn't just a crime flick. It was a profound commentary on America itself.
And the hype leading up to it was absolutely real. The movie was based on Mario Puzo's novel, which was a monster of a bestseller. On the list for 67 weeks, sold over 9 million copies. But here's the twist. Paramount Pictures, the studio, was in deep financial trouble. They were desperate. They were betting the entire farm on this one film to save them. No pressure, right?
But, beyond all the hype and the box office numbers, the real, enduring power of this film comes from its central story. It's a tragedy, really. It's the story of the fall of Michael Corleone.
Michael's journey is the engine that drives the whole movie. He starts out as the clean-cut war hero, the outsider, telling his girlfriend, "That's my family, Kay. It's not me." But then his father is nearly killed and he gets pulled in. That scene in the restaurant where he commits his first murder. That's it. That's the point of no return. A decade later, he's the new Don, calmly ordering a wave of assassinations while he's at his nephew's baptism. The transformation is just chilling.
And you really see the tragedy when you compare him to his father, Vito. Now, Vito was a criminal, no doubt, but he tried to keep a wall between his business and his family. He dies peacefully, playing in his garden. Michael, he smashes that wall to pieces. He fuses family and business into something way colder, way more ruthless. He ends the film totally isolated, walled off by his own lies.
And that final shot, my gosh, that iconic shot just says it all. The door slowly closing on Kay's face. It's not just shutting her out. It's Michael shutting the door on his own soul, on the man he used to be. He's gone. And his place is Don Corleone.
So you've got this theme of moral darkness at the center of the story. And the way the film looks perfectly captures that feeling. The visual style was absolutely groundbreaking.
The cinematographer was a legend named Gordon Willis, and his nickname was, I love this, the Prince of Darkness. And for good reason. He was inspired by classical painters like Caravaggio, using a style called tenebrism. Basically, it's all about creating extreme contrast, where the light seems to be fighting its way out of a sea of darkness. It's the perfect visual language for this story.
And he had all these specific techniques. He used what's called top lighting to cast shadows that would literally hide characters' eyes. You couldn't see what they were thinking. He embraced deep, dark shadows in a way that had never been done in a color film. The whole look is muted, almost sepia tone, giving it this timeless quality. And the camera itself is often very still, which makes us feel like we're just silent observers, watching it all unfold.
As Haddon Guest of the Harvard Film Archive points out, this wasn't just about looking cool. Willis made a conscious choice to go as dark as possible. This bold visual style was fundamental to the movie's power. It wasn't just decoration, it was storytelling.
So we've established it's an artistic masterpiece, but its success at the box office? Well, that's what changed the entire industry forever.
Get a load of this. The Godfather was the first film in history to make $1 million a day. $1 million per day! It just shattered every record. And what that proved to Hollywood was that a serious, dark, adult-oriented movie could also be a commercial juggernaut.
Its success also created the playbook for the modern blockbuster. You start with a limited release in big cities to build buzz and great reviews. Then you rapidly expand everywhere to capitalize on that momentum. That exact model would later be perfected by movies like Jaws and Star Wars.
Oh, and it also totally changed how we see sequels. Before this, sequels were mostly considered cheap cash grabs. But then, The Godfather Part 2 came along and won the Oscar for Best Picture, the first sequel ever to do it. It proved that a sequel could be just as good or even better than the original. It basically invented the whole idea of the prestige sequel.
But the film's influence didn't just stop in Hollywood. This is where the story gets really, really weird.
It actually started to seep into the very culture it was depicting.
Which leads to one of the most fascinating questions about the film's legacy. Did real mobsters actually start to copy the movie? The line between fiction and reality got incredibly blurry.
And the answer, according to law enforcement officials and even actual mob members, is a resounding yes. The film's portrayal had a direct, measurable effect on how organized crime operated.
This is unbelievable. The very term, The Godfather, wasn't a real mafia thing until the movie made it famous. After it came out, real mobsters started quoting the film's iconic lines. They adopted the mannerisms, the signs of respect, everything. The movie basically gave them a new identity to aspire to. And with actual mobsters serving as advisors on set, life truly began to imitate art.
And for the rest of us, the film is just part of our cultural DNA. It's been referenced and parodied everywhere. From The Simpsons and The Sopranos to Modern Family and Veep, it has become this endless well of inspiration and inside jokes that we all get.
So why? Why does this 50-year-old movie about a crime family still feel so powerful? Well, I think it's because it's not really just a gangster movie. It's a timeless, tragic story about family, power, and the darkness of the American dream. It's a masterpiece that made us an offer we still can't refuse.